Welcome to your tutorial on finding sources for your 10th grade career inquiry project. First thing I need for you guys to do is to please open up the link that is here, and this link needs to be opened in Google Chrome. The directions that I give will pretty much only work in Chrome, so please work in that today. Please make sure as you type this in that you are using the same capitalization as is here, so it will take you to the correct place. Once you have that open, it should take you to our library website. And there are a few updates on how we search for sources that I'm going to show you guys and hopefully make things a little easier for you this year than they were last year. This is just a refresher. If you need extra help on how to use any of the databases or searches that I show you, please make sure that you ask me or ask your English teacher. So we're going to keep this tab open, and we are going to open another tab right next door, and we're going to add a little Chrome extension that should make your searching a little bit easier. So we're going to type in Follett Destiny Chrome extension. So yours should look just like that, and when you hit enter, the first tab that pops up, or the first link, should be that. And you're going to add this extension just the way you would add any of them. So right now your button is blue and it should say add to Chrome. If you go ahead and click that, it'll probably ask you if you're sure, and you should say yes. And then you should see a little work over here, and then you'll know that it's done when this button turns green and says added to Chrome. And you have a little tab up here that says Destiny as well. Okay. Once you've got that added, we need to do a little bit of setup. So I'm going to get you to click on the extension that it just added, and yours is going to look a little different than mine at first, but it's going to tell you that you don't have a school configured. It's going to kind of look like this, but yours won't say current school. All right, so you're going to click on this gofollett.com, and you're going to just search for Brookville High School. So you're going to change this location to Virginia. And you're going to start typing in Brookville. Make sure you choose the high school and then say go. And it should take you to a screen that looks like this one that's loading right now. And then if you put your mouse over top, it should now say Brookville High School up here. All right, so we're all set up to search now. Now the reason I asked you guys to add this extension in is because we're going to try to combine your web searching and your print source searching as much as possible, just to make it easier on you. So I'm going to exit out of this tab and exit out of this one and exit out of this one, and then I'm going to get ready to search for something. All right, so I've got my regular old Google open, and we know that Google is the way that we tend to search for web sources, but I'm going to show you how you can search for web and print sources at the same time now. So I am going to search for video game designer. All right, I've got my standard stuff that pops up here like any old Google search, but now that I have this extension added in, I also have this black ribbon, and if yours is small like mine was, there's a little place over here that you can click show and hide. I hide mine unless I'm actually doing an inquiry project. But what this is going to do is it is going to show you in this black ribbon right here all of the resources that your school has available about your topic. For video game design, there's not a ton there. Gulliver's Travels kind of makes no sense. Not sure why that's there. But you'll see that there is a book, Careers in Tech Girls, for Tech Girls in Video Game Design. I can click on that, and it's going to take me to a Destiny page that will tell me a little bit about this book. This is just like what we covered last year, just in Destiny. This is just the updated look of how things are, but it tells you if it's out or in. This one happens to be out right now, so I would need to ask my librarian to hold it for me if I wanted to use it. It tells me my call number, so where I can find it on the shelves, and it tells me a little blurb about the book. Okay, there are also things down here that I can click on if I don't really like this book, but I think that I'd like to find something similar to it. So maybe computer programming and vocational guidance. and that's going to let me see any other books that we have in the library or any other databases that are available having to do with computer programming and vocational guidance. Within Destiny Discover, I can also just search very similar to a Google search. Maybe I don't want to do video game design after all. Maybe I want to have a nursing career instead. I can search for any books. I'm just going to take career. Any books having to do with nursing, I will see those books show up right here. I can click on those the same way and see a little blurb about them, know whether that book is in or out, know where to find it on the shelf. I can look at the blurb here to see if it's the actual book that I want, that kind of thing. All right. So that is an easy way to combine your web search and your print source search. So again, all I do is I open a tab, I do a Google search like I would any old time, and then now that I have this Destiny Discover in, I can see all the books having to do with that career as well. All right. I can also just keep scrolling down and see all of the websites that I know that I would need to check then to make sure that they were reliable, good sources. So that's a really nice way to combine your searches. And remember, this gets on my nerves when I'm just searching for regular stuff and don't need library materials. Remember that you can hide that and just make it a little black bar at the top. Okay, so there's that part, and that should make it easier for you to find both web and print sources. The other thing, right now, we can't search our databases in the same way. So I wanted to show you a little trick on the library website as well to search databases. So remember that your databases are saved under research sources, and you've got your VHS Gale resources there. Okay, if you remember last year in your iSearch project, we used a power search where we searched all of these databases all at once, and we got tons and tons of results. And you can absolutely still do that. You can search with Power Search right here if you want to. But since we're really looking at careers this year, there is a database that focuses specifically on careers, and that is the Vocations and Careers Collection. So if you click on that, you're going to search in the same way. You can use your search bar right here, and maybe I want to be a librarian when I grow up. So I'm going to search for library science and just see what comes up. Right? If you remember our power search last year where we searched all of our databases, we had like, instead of 400 and some, we maybe had 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 different results. 436 is still a lot for me. So if you guys remember, last year I showed you the topic finder under the Analyze button here. And I really love the topic finder. You can look at it in a wheel or in a tile format, and all it does is kind of graphically shows your search for you, and that makes it a bit easier to narrow your search. So I typed in library science. I had something like 400 and some magazine articles, 1,000 and some journal articles. I just really want to look at careers for librarians. So I'm going to click there, and now I just have my two options here. So I can choose one of these if I want. So you think you want to be a librarian, maybe that's what I want to pick. And I've got my article here. Now guys, I do want to remind you, and I know that some of you will remember, sometimes you have to look at your article before you decide that this is the one for you, because sometimes Gale brings back abstracts of articles, which are kind of like the blurbs on the back of books. They're not the actual article, they don't give you very much information, so you can't really use that. So please make sure that you preview your article before you decide that this is the one for you. And then you have an option of how to keep it. You can either print it, or probably the better option that we're going to get you to do is you're going to go to this email option. Okay, unfortunately, your school emails do not allow you to send stuff from an outside of Campbell County Schools address. So if you send mail to your Campbell student address, you will never receive this article. So let's make sure we are clear. Never will receive it. So you have an option. You can do one of two things. You can send this to your personal email. So if you have an outside of school email address, you can absolutely send it to that and you'll be able to get back to this. The other option that you have is you can put your teacher's email in. You can put your email address as the sender. And then if you do this, your subject line needs to be your first name, your last name, and article. You will keep it as HTML and full text, and then you will hit send. And that way, your English teacher, for example here, Miss Stuckey, will receive this article and be able to send it to your email. Kind of a silly way to have to go roundabout to get it, but it's an easy way to get your article. All right? I'm not going to send that to Miss Stuckey right now because she doesn't need it. But again, instead of doing our full power search, we went to vocations and career collections. It just makes it a few less results. If you strike out here, you're absolutely welcome to do the power search like we used last year. That's just a little quicker way. You guys are looking for sources now. You already have one source, your bls.gov website that your guidance counselor showed you back at the beginning of the school year. You are looking for a few additional sources now, and your English teacher will define for you exactly how many sources you need to find. But the methods that I just showed you, searching with your Destiny Discover here so you can see both the library resources as well as web resources, using the vocational and career collection for Gale from the library website. Or if you want to kind of do more of an old school search, I do have a place here now on our library website that lets you search for our library resources as well. So if I want to search for doctors, I can type that in right there at the top ribbon, and it's going to bring up, again, Destiny Discover, kind of the new look of Destiny, and it will show you all of the books that we have about that as well. Okay, so that was a quick refresher. I didn't hit a ton of stuff. If you need extra help, please let us know, but that should get you started on being able to find your sources. Good luck, and let us know if we can help.